welcome back. We're on day 6 of our visual puns. And so I guess let's just have a little checkpoint for right now. For right now, we want to make sure that your 2 pages of the visual pun planning sheet are done. So what does that mean exactly? Let's just verify that we're all on the same page here. So you should have your homophones, your 10 homophones in there. We should have some sort of pun where we use the word the wrong way to make a pun. We should have our 2 sketches in here. And then after that, you should have shown me one of the 2 sketches, or both. You could have shown me both and gotten your pun approved. So also be sure to check on our pun planning list to make sure that your pun has been approved. So you can click on the chalkboard there. And make sure if yours hasn't, that you're choosing a pun that isn't something somebody else already took, because then you can't have it. Okay? So get that approved by me if you haven't yet. We're a few days behind if not, though. So make sure that you're getting caught up since we are, more than halfway through the project now. Anyway, you should have then, once your pun was approved, drawn it onto a nice full-size sheet of paper. And last class, we filled that in as well. So hopefully you already got your draft approved as well. Also, a few classes ago, we did this practice sheet where we tried to match the bottom row with the top row using our 4 fancy pencils. Brought to my attention, if yours aren't HB, 2B, 4B, and 6B, if yours have different codes on them, that's okay. Technically, I mean, honestly, you could do this whole project with just 1 pencil and just using different pressures, right? But it's kind of fun to get to try out some of these different types of pencils. So if yours do have a different code on them, excuse me, feel free to just play with them on a piece of paper and find out which one is the hardest one, meaning that it's the lightest when you color on the paper, and which one's the softest, and everywhere in between. And then just still use them according to the demos. It's going to work out exactly the same. The code might just be different, and that's okay. All right, and then of course doing the guitar as well. So that's all part of the pun planning sheet. What I would love for you to do is to take a photo of both of those, put those in entry number 2 of your art journal. Okay, so get those in there. I want to see that you've been doing that practice. Don't wait until the last day. Often if we wait till the last day, we lose things, they get wrecked, things happen. So get photos of those, get those in your art journal, because I'm going to be looking for those as well as your actual pun as well. All right. So right now you should have something, let's see, that should look sort of, maybe kind of like this. Oops, hold on. Like this. There we go. So this is my draft. It looks okay. It looks decent, but I might want to make it a little bit nicer when it comes to my final. One of the things that I'm noticing, do you see how it's really far over to this side, and on this side it could actually use, the shoe could be bigger. It could go closer to the edge here. I don't know that I would make it higher or lower, just because then it starts distorting the shape of the shoe. Shoes are long, right? Because our feet are long. But I should probably bring it further over. In fact, just to kind of show that I did make another one where it's a little bit more symmetrical, just to kind of show, that looks a little bit nicer than when it's scrunched up against one side. So once you have your final draft ready to go, you're ready to move on to the actual final, the project itself, the one that's getting turned into the art journal and getting graded. So we want a new sheet of paper for that, which I've got here. And I'm going to choose now, do I want to just redraw it onto here so I can make it, tweak any of the things that maybe weren't quite right? Or if it is close enough, so I'm going to use this one because I'd say this one's a little bit closer to what I'm looking for. If it's close enough, what you can do is actually trace it. And you can still make some slight variations when you trace it, you know, because you'll be able to see through. And then just the areas that you maybe wanted to change something on, just don't draw that as you're tracing, and then you can come back and draw that after the fact. So can you see, here's my computer screen. We're going to pretend that this is actually a window. Because let's be honest, it lets off light, right? You can actually see my shadow from the light it's letting off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pretend this is a window, and at home, you can just take some tape and tape your picture up to a window. Then you're going to take some more tape, and you're going to take your blank sheet of paper, kind of line it up on there, and tape it over the top. When we're doing this, whether you are tracing or just kind of freehand redrawing it, we want to do so lightly, okay? Because if we do make any mistakes, we're going to want to erase them, but we don't want to see those ghost lines if we do have to erase something. So lightly meaning, which one should we use? Oh yeah, my HB, right? The hardest of them. Once again, if yours have a different code, just whatever one is the lightest, that's the one we want to go with. So then you would take this. Now my computer screen, I can see slightly through it, but it's not quite as bright as a window is. But I would just very slowly go through and trace it all. Once again, I'm not going to really be able to do that, simply because, well, my computer monitor needs to be brighter, apparently. So the other option, of course, would be then to, so put that up there so I can look at it, would be to free draw it. And notice I'm holding it like I'm writing, right? I'm not holding it like I'm shading. I'm holding it like I'm writing. And I'm going to just very lightly redraw this and making sure that I really get it as nice and big as possible. Like you almost want to touch every edge that you possibly can. I just want to see. Oh yeah. This is why I don't usually do pencil in my demo videos. Do you see how hard this is to see? It's so much easier to see the permanent marker. But I'm just going to go in very lightly, redraw everything. Now you don't need to watch me draw all this. You've seen me do that already, right? You've seen it traced and you've seen this picture. So, and you know what drawing looks like. Your picture's different than mine anyway as well. So I'm going to continue on this. Your goal for next class then is going to be to have your final image lightly sketched. No Sharpie, no shading. Those are coming on later days. For right now, we just want it lightly sketched, all the detail that we need. It should look like a very light coloring book picture. And we'll work on doing the permanent stuff next time. I will see you then.